It's Thursday. We're back for another fun-filled episode of You Can't Do That on Salesforce. And we're building Forceopoly today. On Thursdays, that's what we do. And that's what we're going to go do. And as soon as I can get myself in order here, stream is running, cool. Just got to get to my little console here. Let's see, I'll be up in just a moment. What is going on here? I feel like I have completely forgotten how to use Restream, and I can't find the stream monitor view because I'm a dum-dum. Alright, this seems really silly. What am I missing here? Oh, Restream. I apparently need a remedial lesson in how to how to see what I need to see. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yep, there's the event. Studio. No, that's not what we want to do either. Sorry, y'all. Just a little technical difficulty. We'll be jamming here in a minute. Whew, there we go. I feel silly because I couldn't see any of y'all anywhere. All right, here we go. Where were we? Building Forceopoly. What did we do last time? Last time we finished this actually. So we finished the board space Lightning Web component and started building the board itself. And, it's kind of ugly, but let's make it a little less ugly today. Let's go see what this looks like right now. Let's go check out a game. Should display a bunch of stuff. There we go. All right. Real ugly board, but showing the stuff the way it needs to be shown. I was thinking about how might we actually make it look like the square that it needs or is supposed to look like. Putting go in the bottom left corner, or at least in a corner, and then building a circle of properties around it. These are all fixed size. Oh, dog wants to go out. Hang on. So we could do that. The other thing that would be kind of cool is to render the players in this view, because we have that information. Since we're in a game, we know the current property that each player is on. I'm willing to experiment a little bit with placement. I don't want to spend the whole time doing that, but because I think the challenge is like, well, how do can I am not a CSS genius, so my first question is like, how do you rotate something with a rotate command? Transform rotate. Well, let's see if that does anything, right? I suppose. Rotate at an angle. Okay. I'll buy that. I suppose it would rotate the whole thing, right? degrees, 45 degrees. All right. So let's think about what's the if I got an idea. If I started with Go in the top left, because that's the easiest way for us to read things, top left, kind of what we've got now, right? Let's see, if that board is rotated, these would actually be flipped over 180 degrees. So let's just see if that does anything off the bat. So let's look at board, because we have property board space. That's what renders each of the items, which is actually a card. Okay, so the simplest, dumbest thing here is if we do a transform on this, let's just flip them upside down. Is it DEG? Am I doing that right? 180 DEG. Cool. Let's go with that. Oh, might have to shut the door because here we go. Somebody's running the weed whacker. All right, well, that's 180 degree rotation. Let's see what that does. Hopefully these all rotate 180 degrees. And they did. Okay, so hypothetically we have go here. So here's my thinking, right? We start like this because it's easy to it's easy to lay this out. And then when we get to, so I need to fix this so that it can overflow off to the side, and we probably need to scale the whole thing, which is that a thing? Can we do that? Scale. Can I scale the whole? I'd like to just scale the whole component, the whole. What am I trying to say? I'd like to scale the whole thing. Scale 2:2. What are the parameters for scaling? Sorry about the. Sorry about the weed whacker, guys. Let's see, what's a scale transform do? Oh, I see. You have an option to set both of them. So can I scale? It's like a 0.7x. So I can make the whole thing smaller, right? This is outside of, this is out on the board. Can I make the whole board a little smaller so that, so we got each property. If we have game properties, let's put a div on the outside here. I'm just going to do this in line for the moment. If I just say 0.5. All right, so now we should have a container that scales everything down. .5, right? 0.5, okay. Transform scale, yep, transform scale, okay. Does that hopefully give us a smaller board? Because what I'd like to do is scale this, and then once it's scaled, rotate it into position. So we kind of set up the board like we're off to a good start. We're starting at go, we're going to the right. When we get to the 10th, right? 10th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 11th item, we rotate everything 90 degrees, and then we rotate again, then we rotate again, and then we rotate again. I think that's the right amount of rotations. So then we get all our places set. This gets a little bit interesting when I get to 10. I need to rotate and then also reorient. So that might be fun. When I'm done, then I can rotate the whole thing and put start wherever we want to put it. I am used to start being in the bottom right, or go. I'm sorry, we put go in the bottom right, and yeah, hopefully that'll work. So let's see. Well, first things first. Were we able to scale the whole thing? If we can scale the whole thing, I hope we can rotate the whole thing. All right, and we did. Neato. Okay. Now, I guess the question is the width. Let's check out let's inspect this a little bit. Try to understand where our CSS is coming from. our container. Here it's this board. This div doesn't have any definition of width right now. So I wonder if we tell it to just be 100%. Because everything's floating in it, it doesn't have a, it doesn't see anything within it. So we don't want to float. We do want to align. What's the right way to do that? Let's see. Because these are floated, the parent component, it doesn't have anything in it's not any, there's no contents within it. Therefore, it doesn't understand a size. Let's see. What's the best way to do that? My CSS game is weak, people. All right, so is this more of a job for the box model? Because I could literally place, I could place things physically, like, or literally, like use actual actual values. Or build a table or something cheesy like that. Those would all work. Flexbox, not box model. Does Flexbox do anything useful for us? We can specify order. Because hypothetically what we could do is, let's think on this. Let's see. Go through Connecticut Avenue is one, collection of stuff. It's rotated 180 degrees. Well, each of them is rotated 180 degrees, and then they render. I could then do a new line that is jail to New York Ave, and then I can position. I can put that in a container, and then rotate that 90 degrees and put it where I need it to go, because mathematically we have the stuff in the right position. Then do the same for free parking to Marvin Gardens. Rotate that 180 degrees, I think. Then do the same for go to jail to Boardwalk, which is 270. Put that in place, and then I think we can rotate the whole thing from there. maybe. So let's try that. And then can we do a little bit of Flexbox with this here too? So the container, display flex, and then the items, the children, the flex items. By default, items are laid out in the source order. If you want to change, so we'll have our source order. This defines the ability for flex item to grow. We try to fit, flex items try to fit on one line. Okay. All right. I haven't done a lot of this, so let's play around a little bit. This isn't exactly Salesforce-y stuff, but this is an interesting lesson in whatchamacallit, in Flexbox, I guess. All right. So right now our board just renders spaces. Right? It goes from start to finish and lays those out. So now we need something that maybe takes our game properties and breaks them up into collections of 10 each. Let's take a look at the board. So right now we've got game properties, just loads up. Maybe we add another, let's add another property here. Game properties. By side, which is going to be an array of arrays, I think. Yeah. And we're gonna, let's see. We're gonna just push. I want to get, let's see, what's the elegant way in JavaScript to array to get a subset of elements. Shallow copy into a new array object from start to end and not included. Okay, so we can just slice. It's 0 index, so we go 0 to 9, right? So we'll go to 2. I think we're going to do 9. This is obviously game properties. Okay, so this is our first lane or side. And we're going to push 3 more. Actually, I'll just do the next one because I want to get the copy paste bonus. That's, I think, 10 to 19. $20 to 29. And then 30 to 39. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Let's do a little debug and see if we actually got this chopped up the way that we want it. Because then what I should be able to do is loop through the sides, loop through each side, render what I need, and then reposition as needed. So let's see here. Refresh this. Okay, we got those. Let's refresh once more so we can see how this is building out. Probably gonna have to look at a board and make sure we're getting what we need. I think that the indexes are probably gonna throw me off a little bit here. All right, so let's look at game properties by side. Yeah, that first one's got to be 0. Seems like 0 to 9. We have to fix that. Okay. And then let's see. It said end not included. So I wonder if we need to go to 10. 0 to 10. Let me just try this out for myself here. It's curious that, oh, no, there, 0 to 2. All right, so that's interesting. And then if I go 3, or let's say 1 to 2. Yeah. All right. So it should be 0 to 10 because we don't want to include 10. Then include 10. Go to 20. 20 to 30. It's very weird that it's not inclusive of the last one. Or maybe it makes perfect sense and I just don't. Just too stupid to keep the addresses right in my mind. Okay. Refreshing. How'd we do? Okay, 0 to 9. Good. And I'm just going to do let's just see what this whole thing looks like. All right, so I think it's there. It looks like it's there. Let's update our loop and see what this looks like. So now I'm gonna loop over game properties by side, and we want to make sure that we have that in place. And then let's call this side, and let's put that in a wrapper. What was that? Flex box display flex. All right, let's do it. Okay, so there's our right, we need to put a key on this. I think, what can we use? Because we don't actually have an index on the... There's something else we can do in a template, right, in LWC, to kind of make our own template key. What was there? Four item and 4 index? Is that right? Let me search for template for each. That probably would get us a whole lot more useful information. Oops. For each 4 item. I think we can say side dot index as the key. Let's find out. Here's hoping. All right, so then we're looping over the elements inside, which becomes... So we can call those GP again. It doesn't change anything else. Okay, and then in Flexbox land, what do we have to say about these? I don't think we have to say anything. I think we can just, they can just be, right? And they just keep going, hopefully. All right, so hypothetically, I'm going to get 4 rows of elements. They're all going to be upside down. All right, how do we do? It didn't complain about the index, but honestly, I've never done that before. I don't think I've ever, in all the times I've looked at this, I've never looked to see this. Oh wait, then I have to use it. Okay, hold on. This is new. Iterator active, iterator. All right, I think I might have to fix that. Oh, hold on. No, we're looking good. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm so smart. First try. Okay, great. Flexbox is doing its job. Don't really understand the spacing here, but well, I guess let's inspect this a little bit and try to understand what is going on. Okay. So that's our container. It thinks it's only 500 pixels, or it's 724 pixels wide, but there's more. So maybe is it still because of the floats? I don't think we need the floats now inside of our flex boxes, right? Like these can go away. We don't need to float left because we're flex boxing? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, that's saved. Do we get the same effect? I sure hope so. We don't need to float. Nope. Sorry, debugger. Debugger pause for effect. Okay. Now what happened? The whole thing went further down the page. All right, so our board takes up space, and is it because we scaled it down? Is that why it kind of moved? Well, the good news is it's doing what it was told to do. So property board space. It's interesting that it thinks that card is that width is 250, even though it's highlighting it as 125. Oh no, it is 125 because it's half the size. Okay, I gotta remember that we're in Bizarro land because we scaled everything down by 50%. Now it still doesn't recognize that overflow. What I'm trying to figure out is how do I determine the position of Connecticut Avenue so that I can rotate the second row 90 degrees and get it to line up to where I want it, which is really, transforming X minus 250 and plus transforming Y plus whatever the magic number is there. So maybe we just do that. How are we going to do that? Because we're in a loop, right? So if we're looping here, this is really the thing that is being that needs to be transformed. And I think what we're going to need is I think we need to turn game properties by side into, it needs some more info, right? So over here in board, it can be an array, but then I think what I need to push is something that has a little bit more info in it. So let's make it an object now. So each one of these will be an object that we push in. Let's call this items, or let's call this properties, I guess. And let's call this rotation, or rotate. The first one's 0. Let's say offset X and offset Y. So I'm just going to make my own little data structure here for each of these. And then I'll just copy and paste these. So that first one, we're not rotating at all. The second one, we're going to rotate 90. I think what I ultimately need to do here is like write the, let's write the style, because it's going to be what? Something transform, rotate 90 degrees. then we don't actually need this other stuff. We'll be piling onto that in a second. And this first one is 0 degrees, just so we have something to be consistent with. And we need 2 more of these. Need to update my offsets here, or my indexes for each slicing. Okay. So 90, 180, 270. All right. Then we can, let's save this. Let's go back to our board here. This actually goes here, so I probably should put display flex in each of those also. Okay. Oh, hey, McMontage. Thanks for hopping on. I hope you're still here. I'm sorry I didn't see you in the chat. Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate that you like what's going on here. It's weird, but you know, why not? Why not make some weird stuff on the Salesforce platform? Thanks for coming. All right, I think we got this. So let's update our. Exactly. Why not? Because we can, right? And because I mean, I think the writing's on the wall that games on Salesforce platform are just that's the future. It's going to be the big spotlight at Dreamforce this year. All right, let's get our style in here. All right, so we also changed, let's see, we changed game properties by side. So each one has a side. It should have an index. It has a side dot style now. And then the side dot properties is what we're after. I think that fixes everything. At least fixes our references. I don't know if this is actually going to work. All right, prepare for a mess. All right. Well, what happened? Let's see. We have 1, 2. So I'm guessing that the 4th row is underneath. Well, this is the 4th row, right? And the 2nd row is probably right under. Nope, it's right there. So I think what we need is actually go to. No, it's free parking. No, it's in jail. Do we have that one out here? Hiding under here, I think. New York Avenue is kind of buried. So this is almost, well, actually no, that's right, because this would go, Boardwalk would go down here, So boardwalk would move to, I guess let's test some of that. So can I reposition? Can I use transforms to reposition? Scale, rotate, skew? No. I can just use X and I think does Flexbox. If you want to reposition in Flexbox, what is it? Is that a thing? Align content. There's probably a much more. If I was thinking about this more smarter, there's probably a Flexbox situation right inside of. So if I made a container in the container, I probably. Oh, there's Flexbox tricks. I'm sure that's going to tell me. Never mind. Parent child. Well, let's see. If we do Flexbox like absolute Flexbox relative position, Flexbox position relative, what does this do? How positioning and Flexbox work together. So if I could shift, if I make the position relative and then I shift these around, let's see what happens. I'm going to just try to do this manually in the, bring this down. Yeah, where's our stuff? Let's see. I'm going to yeah, let's reload something. Not finding what I need here. So this one, let's inspect this. This is the, there you are. So this container here, I'm going to move this up just so I can see the highlights. Okay, so this container is what we want to move. Now, if I make this position relative, does that blow anything up? I always feel like I gotta like, walking through CSS is like, like walking through a landmine or a minefield. Like, try one step, okay, that worked. Now try another step. 0. That didn't do anything. Top. Make it move. Okay, that moved it. I guess relative to what? That's kind of the. I mean, it's relative to the container, but it is. Now that I've rotated it, it feels like it's a little confused. Let's go. Let's adjust the right. We're gonna go negative. I think. Nope. We're gonna because we're rotated. So I guess maybe that's. If I think about this not having been rotated. What would that? Okay, well, let's move it 100 then. All right, it's moving back. We want to go. That's moving it down. Literally just hunting and pecking here now. There's probably some rhyme or reason to this number. It's not 750. I bet you this is 700. Okay. It's 700. Why? I don't know, but is this 700? Nope. How about 500? Nope. 600. Yep, it's 600. Who can tell me why? Wait. Is it wait, 600 is no. Our no. Wait. 600 is that 3? Our width is 200 on our cards. 600 is 3 widths for what that's worth, but then the 700, that doesn't really line up with anything like that. But hey, okay, we figured out the bottom one has to have this. So while I try to comprehend what logic is at play here, let's at least say, hey, we moved that one. Okay, let's move the other ones in place and just see how this works. The second one is this one. All right, so that's this one here. Let's steal this again. That did not go anywhere useful. What if I just use the negative numbers? What happens? Nope. Hoping that maybe that would have done... Where did you go? All right, the right... Is that -6? Nope. Is it negative? It's not -7. -9. -11. No. -1250. Yeah. Okay. Top is all right. It's not 1250. It's 1200. No, it's not. We have to be on the other side of that. It's 1450. Yes. The top is 500. No. 250. 200. Nope. 300. Close. 350. What do these numbers mean? All right. Well, it's we're getting there. We're getting there. By the power of wild guessing, we are making this look like a Monopoly board. And then I'm going to have to scale the whole thing down like to even further. But we're getting there. All right. So free, this one, yeah, no, yes. This one's not rotated, right? That's the top. That's there. Okay. Which one are we looking for here? Looking for the third one? Yes. All right, let's grab this. Put it on this one. I'm going to re-zero this so it doesn't go to somewhere that I can't find. Okay. So now the top on this needs to be Does it need to be 1450? I'm dying to have something consistent here. Nope. 1600. Uh, 1550. On the right, 1000. Nope, wrong way. Close to 800? Or, I forget, was it more or less? 850. Hey! Is that right? Now let's rotate the whole thing 180 degrees. Right? Can you do multiple like that? Yep. Oh, wait. Yeah, go. Go. Do. Jail. Boom. Free parking. Blah, 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 blah. Go to jail. Yes! We made a board. All right. Show's over, people. We're all going home. Before I lose all of this, including my mind, I don't understand the rhyme or reason behind any of these numbers, but I'll take them. Let's, this was the second one. Yep, I'll take it. Number 3. I'll take it. And, whoops. And number 4, did I get that already? Yes. Okay. But why these numbers? Maybe it's the rotation. That's the curious part to me, is the rotation. Does that like suddenly recenter the whole thing? I don't know. Does it change what's the pivot point around the rotation? I don't know enough about CSS to even begin to explain what's going on there. But it's working. We have a board. It's a little small. Let me get a little bigger. Let's go 0.4, 0.35. Now, by making it bigger, it kind of throws the whole thing off. So this is interesting, right? Here's the original div that contained the whole thing. I wonder if I wrap that in something, will it kind of give it the space that it needs? Like give it a home in the page? I suppose we could try that, because right now it's being held by this flexi page component, which has a slot that I don't actually see highlighting anywhere. And then there's the board. Is that the scaling that so this is what's interesting. I think this is the scale that it must have been shrunk by. 506 by 350. Okay. guess let's try to put a... If I just put a div around this... We ended up, what, rotating this 180 to kind of get everything back on track. The properties are being written. So this should get us what we had before, except I made the scale a little too big. I think it's the transforms that are kind of throwing it into bizarro dimension land. Come on, a refresh. It probably doesn't help that I have my DevTools, my Chrome DevTools up. Whoop. Oh. Whoops. I'm gonna close this just for the moment, so hopefully this loads a little faster. Here we go. Okay. Still kind of running off. Is it running off the page? Or is it exactly... No. It's kind of... That's weird. It's like offset. Because of the rotations? It's got to be it. I imagine that it just takes the... how does... what I want, I think, is the rotation to like pivot, right? So rotate with your pivot point at 0, 0 on each of those items, and then we move it around. I don't know if you can tell it to do that. Let's see, CSS transform rotate pivot point. Ah. Uh-huh. Oh. Transform origin. Yes. I very much want to do that. I want to do what the thing just did. Transform the box. Let's see. That's the box. The box says it's transform origin as its top left, which I think is what we want for each of these, because let's try that. Box rotate. Oh, it just applies that when we... Okay, I'm getting lost. All right, transform origin top left. Let's put that in each of these and then see what kind of mess we make. Okay. Are there any other transform functions that we can mess around with? We can rotate, we can scale, translate. Well, that might be easier, right? Instead of doing our position offsets. All right, translate X, translate Y. Maybe that's the ticket. Oh, I pretend like I understand any of that. Okay. All right. Maybe we can try that instead of position relative, because I guess that could probably throw things off also. All right. Well, let's go back over here and see what did we do. So now we're telling each of these where its origin of rotation is. And I wonder if we get a different result. Okay. The top one must be up there somewhere. Or, yeah, that's, again, still kind of interesting where things ended up. I'm going to take the transforms off and just see what our, or yeah, take our position adjustments off of each of these. I want to keep them though, just in case we need them again. I don't want to have to guess at all the numbers. So we'll do this. Transition origin. Let's get rid of those, yeah. So hopefully this still gives them, just stacks them up. All right. Okay. We took away our coordinate repositioning, and now we're just rotating. Okay. One, two, three. One, two, three, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is this one. Oh, right, because we rotated the whole. We also rotated the whole thing. So what is the? I'm going to take let's take the rotation of the board out. For now. I kind of want to take the rotation of the, I want to scale this back a little bit, mostly because I'm going cross-eyed, I think, and take this out as well. But we know we really do need that to go. Well, hold on. Is there a way in Flex? Shoot, where'd my Flexbox mojo go? Lost it. Is there a way to, because if I scale this all the way back, right? The whole purpose of this original rotation was to just be able to go from go to basically what I want to do is have the Flexbox read left to right. I'm sorry, right to left. No. Reverse. In reverse order. which I suppose I could just reverse the I could reverse the elements, but I think I can also just do the direction. So if I just do row reverse, let's try that, right? That's in the container. Because maybe there's the other dynamic here is like there's yet another rotation happening that's possibly throwing off dimensions as well. So this is going to take us back to 4 rows rendered with the stuff in them. So we're gonna hopefully take a couple steps back and take more steps forward or something. Yeah. Okay, we still have, sorry, we do still have our rotations in there. So I think I want to go one more step back and let's take out the rotations as well. We just want these to have flex for now. But I think if we undo this a little bit and have those render in the opposite direction, then we can apply some other settings here and get stuff where we want it. Okay, now with this, we should roll all the way back to just 4 rows, no rotation, no offsets, just the stuff, but with the with things laid out the way that we need them to be. Okay, not quite. Did I? Oh, wait. I don't think I told the containers to... Oh, that was the whole point of this. We have to tell the container the flex direction is row reverse, I believe. Display flex direction, row reverse. So we need that in here. Just going to steal this. Okay, so hopefully this repeated will get us what we need in each of these. I also think that where the scaling is occurring, it's probably throwing things off too. All right, cool. This is what we want, I think. Because I want to just take Go. All right, yep. This is so if I think about a Monopoly board with Go in the bottom right corner, this is the right sequence. Now if I read these, if I read these right to left, top to bottom, now I've got jail where I need to rotate it and stick it on the end of this one. And then I've got free parking that I'm going to stick on the end of that one, et cetera, et cetera. So now that we have that, if I transform, I just want to transform the second one, right? So if I translate X, I can translate in two dimensions, right? If I translate minus 250 on this one, it should overlap or minus 250, 0 minus 250, right? I think that's what we're... So I'm going to reintroduce the transform origin to my second side, and then I'm going to translate I'm going to transform, sorry, translate, we want to go negative 250 and 0. Seems to make sense, right? After this is done, jail, I think, should be on top of go. Oh wait, we're going, I'm sorry, this is 0 and then minus 250. It's the Y that we want to transform. And I think I want the top, I think I actually want the top right of these, because then I pivot on the top right, I move it over to the end, to some offset relative to Connecticut Ave, and then what I'm doing right now is moving it up so let's try that actually. So I want top right, and then I'm translating this, and I want to rotate. I want to also rotate 90 degrees. So that should put it, actually I want it to be minus 5. Do I want it to be 500? No, I don't want it to be 500. I want to put it minus 250, so it's lined up with this, and then rotate it 90. So when I'm done with this, I would have take this top right, place it here. Right, that's our goal. Take the top right, place it here, move it all the way down, rotate 90 degrees. I think. Let's see how we did. I think that's what we're doing. Oh wait, no. We want to move it. We actually don't. If it's going to pivot, we don't want it to be up because there'll be a space there. Let's just see if this actually does anything close to what I'm thinking. Okay, let's see, it moved up 250, right? Here's its pivot point. Interesting. Is that really its pivot point? It feels like no. Transform origin top right. Because when it rotated 90 degrees, it rotated correctly. But relative to what? Feels like it rotated. The whole thing moved up. It rotated relative to something weird. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2,050 back is where it should go. Just doesn't seem like the rotation made sense. Oh, now we lost it. We went back. We must have gone back too far. Let's debug in the browser. See if we can find our missing component here. It's our first row. Our second row is somewhere off in La La Land. Let's see if we can bring them back. Let's go down to like 1,500. Are you back yet? Let's put it back to 0 until we can find it on screen. Okay, it's back. Should it actually have been positive? I don't think so. Okay, so, well, that's interesting. We rotated it 90. Oh, does order matter here? Like, should I actually be translating? I should be moving first. Then rotating? Yep. What did we say this was? Minus 20, 50? Yep. Okay. Good to know. The order of transforms in your CSS matter. Almost wonder if I can, like, logo style, right? Could I, move here, rotate there, move here, rotate there. Not that we need to do anything more because it's in position, but it's also, this is my next conundrum. Like, why are you way up there? And I don't know if it now recognizes. See, it doesn't see. Once things are transformed, they're on their own. So knowing what the canvas is, which I guess maybe that's what we probably should be doing, is maybe building this with with some canvas mojo so we could manage it a little bit better. But for now, we'll keep monkeying about here. This makes more sense now, looking at it. So we use the top right as our rotation point, which we did. We didn't actually have to move it up. We just wanted it to move over to the end of this and then rotate 90 degrees around that. So if we took the same, what's interesting is I guess I could take the same steps and just tell it to do this twice, right? In the next one, if I could actually, get it on the page. I don't know, let's try that. So we take this, we're going to do the same thing. Here, right? In this case, we need to translate up 250. Nope, back 250. Right. I'm just curious if I did that a second time. Again, it's just sort of following the instructions through here. No idea where that went. Let's scale it way down to see hopefully if it comes back. Didn't exactly. Oh wait, so we do minus 250 and then we. I don't think we need to do this. So we moved it into position, rotated it, moved it again. It's close. It seems really close. Nope, not 2,500. Yes, 250. So it moved back and then moved forward and then moved back again. I think it's where it needs to be. Because we'd have one more here. So then we do this one more time. I need this to scroll over. I just realized everything I'm doing is off screen, so I'll show. Well, let me show this here now. So I'm kind of trying to replay what the first row did to say transform. So move here, move there. We need to move it up a little bit higher to get it to it's at the right starting point to follow the same instructions that that the second one, the second side used. So hypothetically, I can do the same thing. I never this is interesting. You can basically just transform your way through the instructions. So we transform, rotate, transform, rotate, transform, rotate. I don't think this is going to be right per se. We got to get it back on the screen, figure out where it is. And we're basically trying to take the side, move it, shift it, move it, shift it, move it, shift it. So we're always doing a 90 degree and a move. The question is, what is the last? It's the second offset that makes it a little more interesting to find the thing, right? If we can get it back on screen, we'll be doing okay. All right, so it's on top of minus, Where are you now? Oops. We gotta take this out. Okay. And then is this now 500? Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Interesting. So, and now position-wise, it seems way too convenient that that is just hanging out at the top of the, and yeah, you can see my transform. If we change this transform origin, right, to top left, does that bring any sanity to this? Kind of. All right, it put it back into, kind of kicked it back into play on the page. If I made this flex too, what would happen? Okay. If I make this one display flex, it flexes all the way down, people. Yeah. All right, so it sort of fell apart there, but this is interesting, right? If I scroll over here, and then I was hovering something, right? So this, okay. I don't think we want, I don't think I want this to be flex because I wanted them to stack. But you can kind of see, you know, what's happening now is here's our container. Scroll over a little bit more. Yeah, so we don't want flex here. Or wait, we don't want flex above it. Take that back. Take this back, I think. So there's a difference between where. So I think the space that's here is where the thing wants to be, and what we've got is, all right, this component is actually like up here in the top right. So there's each of our four. Much more logical movement. We're not just hunting and pecking for positions. I kind of do that move, rotate, move, rotate, move. But I just don't quite understand. Like, let me take the scale out of this and try to just see what is going on screen. Yeah, so like, I think once we do translates, kind of like makes the page freak out a little bit. What if I put it in a canvas? Like, I don't even, does that do anything? Can I put HTML in a canvas? Draw graph, no, this is for JavaScript. I don't think I really want to do that. It's sort. I guess the question is like, where is our CSS Flexbox like viewport, right? because it feels like Flexbox and whatchamacallit, transform display flex together with transform rotate. Not really what we're looking for. Here's a code pen that's Flexbox and transform. Not sure. There isn't an easy answer here. I guess that's the... Of course, my simple brain thinks like, oh, well, we just do these, you know, it's gonna rescale the, whatchamacallit, it's gonna rescale the container, you know, to just go with the flow. And that is not what's happening here. So as soon as we start transforming, it puts the original can we scale, can you scale relative to the page? No. It just doesn't know about it, how it's been resized. I think that's the, you know, that's the kicker. So if I scale this down, okay, now it's, you know, it's scaled, but it doesn't understand that we took something that was contained in it. Right? This is it right here. What's highlighted on the screen, I'm gonna pull this off a second. What's highlighted on the screen is the space that this took up before we started messing with everything. And now it's going to stay that way no matter what I do to resize or what have you. Well, I take it back. It did scale, it scaled that, but now it's still got this big old space here that's pushing this thing down. I don't know why. Oh, it's that this container is the original space, I believe. Yeah. It's like this needs to go away. I don't think floating it is going to be the answer, but no, it doesn't seem to care about that. What if I change its height? I'm just curious. I don't think that's the solution either, but if I make its height 0, does it? Okay, a height is 0 of the container puts us back to where we want. Now if I rescale, if I set the scale back to 1, yeah, so that has no height anymore. it feels like if we transform and then what if we did make the position of this I don't really want to make it absolute. But yeah, let's try that. Top 0, left 0. Nope. Oh wait, I forgot left. Doesn't matter, top is already there. If we were to, it's what else is curious is I wonder, because we're doing these transforms, get back on screen here. Because we're doing these transforms, I'm curious, like the order of operations, right? This one is the outside container for all of this, but it does not know that it has been, transformed. I wonder if we need to make the height of this now 0 also. Oh, I wish I could spell. Okay, so now this has no height. This has no height. We've transformed. I'm gonna reduce this down to like 0.35. Okay. See, this kind of needs height, right? It's what's giving us, actually that's not what's giving us space. Is it this that's giving us space? Yes, so that gives us space for the, and then I don't think I care about the height here. Okay, that doesn't push anything around. So now that we've scaled this, can we translate this back onto the page after all the messing around that we've done? If I move this, say 500, okay, that moved it over. Okay, 1000 gets it back on the page, and then, oh, that was only 100. Let's go 1000 here. All right, it's coming back into view. I'm going to make it even smaller. All right, so should that be 2050 to get it to the, I think 2050 gets it to the top of our, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so we have a container that's the outer container is giving us some space. But without these translations, I don't think it cares. All right, if I take these away. Yeah, so it doesn't care about that. So that gave us some space once it came back into the view box. Because I can turn this margin down a little bit now. Right, that gets it to where we want. If I increase this height, it gives it the space that it needs down below. Let's do that at 600. Okay, so now we're kind of back into the page. It looks right. We're doing everything it needs to do. It's just this view box stuff that's a little jank. This again has no idea. This container has no idea where it belongs, right? If I'm just going to pull off screen here, it still thinks that it's down at the bottom here. So we've pulled this here back onto the page by way of the translate commands that we issued. Moved all of our stuff around, rotated and flipped and all that good stuff. And now we've got this. So this works, but I kind of hate it because it's so, it just goes so far outside of out of what we need, really. You know, I almost need, if I want it to look like a board, which this does now, then we can roll with this. We proved our point, right? We were able to build the board. I'm going to take a screenshot of this before I lose it. We built the board, but it's not really serviceable as is. We had to do a ton of really weird styling to get it to lay out this way. I'm not sure that there's really any other good way to do that at the same time, right? I could create, my brain then goes to like, well, what's in this space in between here, right? What's the nothing? The nothing is something. The nothing is a grid of 200 by 200 squares that don't do anything, right? They could just take up space. But if we built our board with that in mind, does that make it a little easier so that all we're doing, we're not even flexboxing anymore? Well, I guess we could still flexbox, right? We could just have, we could have the board. Are we rotating? I forget. No, right now, no, we're not rotating. We don't have to because because of the right to left stuff that we did. But instead of rotating these entire sides, I could just build a grid of the board that starts with, essentially aligns what we need, aligns things the way we need them. So I need to go from free parking backwards to, or really, no, it's forwards, right? Because free parking is like position 20. So I need positions 20 through 30. And then I need to do kind of a weird like side to side thing. So it's whatever, 19 and 21, 18 and 22. So count them up like that, boom, down to the bottom. And then I need 10 through 1 for the, for the very bottom. And then I just rotate each of these things the way it needs to be, laid out. that could work. That's some more rework, but this is a struggle for me. This works. This is simple, really. We didn't have to do a ton to get this working, but it's this bizarro offset stuff that I just don't get. So maybe I'll spend a little bit more time staring at this because I otherwise love the fact that we don't have a ton of. I gotta collect all this style, by the way, before we lose it, and I get super sad. This first row is correct. The second row needs this stuff in it. I think this one's correct too, actually. No, we had to do the. So what did I learn today? I learned that transform is cool in CSS. It is like logo style. I'm talking about the computer game that if you're old, or not computer, the computer programming language that if you're old, you probably remember. It tells it to go here, do that, move 20, turn right, move 20, turn right. The CSS transform kind of allows you to do the same thing. Let's keep that. And so learned a little bit about that while we're messing around. I don't pretend to understand the whole view box going to La La Land thing. So I feel like there's a more elegant way to handle that just by applying the right styles up above here. But I really do think that once you start messing around with what I need to figure out is there a way in CSS to say, go do all this stuff and then like reconcile the view box so I can tell this kind of parent, this container div that I'm pointing at off screen, sorry. I want to be able to really tell this. There we go. I want to be able to tell this container div, after all this stuff happened, like reconcile, like put yourself back together, reset your origin and all of that. But I think all the transform stuff is like throwing that off. So I gotta spend some time learning a little bit more about how that works. But otherwise, it's like it's working. So that's neat. We got a board. I wasn't sure if we're going to be able to like pull something together like this in a couple of hours. So I'm pretty stoked about that. The other thing I might be curious is to like, could you build it in Canvas with JavaScript? I've never built in Canvas in LWC. Maybe we're on to something there. So I'm gonna put that on the backlog for another time. We did build our board. This one is done. We do have to revisit the new game flow, so it actually like starts creating new games for us. And then can we do Canvas with LWC? I don't know. But for now, with some HTML and some CSS and a little bit of bizarro reconciliation of things, we got ourselves a board. We could issue commands from here. It's a little small, maybe a little hard to read, and I wanted to see, just for fun, if we scaled it again. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, so as soon as I make it bigger, now the height of the container is like totally ignored, so I have to adjust that again. It's not the end of the world, but I mean there's a Monopoly board for you. There you go. It just barely fits. We shouldn't have to make those arbitrary scaling decisions, though. It'd be nice if this just scaled and resized the way that it needs to, or to fit the space. But hey, it's a Monopoly board laid out with our Salesforce data in the direction that it needs to be, and I think that's pretty cool. I was going to try to render the pieces on here, and we absolutely can do that. We know that data, but I'm going to leave it here for now, and leave you all to it as well. Appreciate folks that hung out. McMontage, thanks for coming by, man. Tell your friends. Tell them to stop by. Check out the other days. We do Monopoly on Forceopoly. Sorry, we do Forceopoly on Thursdays, and do a project called the Inefficient Icon Inventory on Tuesdays. That is turning into something. I think something interesting. What started out as drawing pixels is starting to turn into like a collaborative icon app, and it's got more colors now, so that's cool. And then on Wednesdays we do rock paper scissors. That one's actually moving pretty fast. It turns out Monopoly is super complicated, so I wanted to bring in a game that maybe we would get through a little faster. So that's Wednesdays is rock paper scissors. So with that, I will say thank you and leave y'all, and look out for the digest. Check out YCDTOSF.com. I really should probably put that like on screen. I think I'm going to do that next time. The website has links to everything. We've got playlists for all of the games, or all the projects that we're working on. There's a source code repository behind each of these that you're welcome to, poke at, shamelessly steal from, tell me what's wrong, make better, whatever. And most of the communication to people is on LinkedIn, which I hope we can eventually start streaming over there also. But honestly, you can't do that on Salesforce. It needs more followers on LinkedIn before that can happen. So if you're listening and you see this and you want to help us out, give us a follow on LinkedIn. That'll give us a third channel to record on, in addition to Twitch and YouTube. All right, shameless plugs over. Despite the weirdness, I'm super happy with how we ended up here. So